6:14 p.m. Night has already fallen. The air is heavy. I approach my teenager's natural habitat. I attempt a risky maneuver. Basic parental communication. I use my softest voice. "Sweetheart, could you bring down your empty plate, please?" Dead silence. And then, disaster strikes. She looks at me like I just canceled Christmas. She screams,
"You're harassing me 24/7. You're toxic!"
Followed by a door slam. Measuring 7.4 on the Richter scale. My goldfish passes out. You stand there, planted in the living room, holding the dirty plate of discord. You wonder where it all went wrong. 3 years ago, she cried tears of joy for pancakes. Today, I'm hosting a hostile squatter who pays no rent and empties the fridge in 12 minutes. It's exhausting. You pray every morning not to start a world war just by asking her to pick up a wet towel. So let's ask the real questions. Why does she do this? Does she secretly hate me? Spoiler, no. It's purely biological. But beware, there is one specific phrase, a phrase that 99% of us say automatically during a meltdown, and which doubles the length of the crisis. I'll give it to you in a moment so you can cross it out of your vocabulary forever. To understand, let's look at a real MRI scan. At first glance, it looks like an adult brain, except the cables were plugged in backwards by an electrician on steroids. Two zones are at war. First, the amygdala. It's the primary alarm system. For you, the amygdala fires if a bear attacks you. For your teen, bombarded with hormones, the amygdala fires if you ask her to put away a shoe. To her brain, sneak her out of place equals mortal danger. Next, there's the prefrontal cortex. It's the zone of common sense and brakes. But in teens, this zone is closed for construction. Delivery is scheduled for age 25. Your child is literally driving a Ferrari with the brakes of a rusty scooter. She physically cannot stop. So, what do we do when faced with an explosion? We do the worst possible thing. We try to be logical. We pull out the classic parent arguments. "Look, I pay for this house. You owe me respect. Be rational." We raise our voices, we punish, we argue. If you have ever screamed, "Lower your voice," while screaming twice as loud yourself, parental hypocrisy in all its glory. Click the subscribe button. Join the support group in the comments. And share this video with a parent whose doors have no hinges left. We'll get through this together. Why is arguing such a disastrous idea? Because science calls this emotional kidnapping. When the amygdala ignites, it cuts the Wi-Fi to the logical zone. There is a 404 error. The person you are talking to is physically no longer there. And this is where the famous forbidden phrase comes in. Here it is. Calm down and explain the problem to me. Asking a teen in full meltdown to calm down is like screaming at a toaster to make you a coffee. It doesn't work. It frustrates everyone. And the toaster ends up spitting right back in your face. Her brain cannot process your rational request. Here is your survival manual in 3 rules to be applied at the very next meltdown. Rule number 1, the Opossum technique. Play dead. Do not respond to provocations. If she yells, lower the volume of your own voice. Simply say, "I'm going to give you some space," and leave. The goal is not to educate, The goal is to prevent the living room from catching fire.
Did you go through my stuff again?
I'm going to give you some space. She came looking for a fight. She found no opponent, no fuel, no fire. Rule number 2, the quarantine. It takes exactly 20 to 30 minutes for cortisol to come down. During those 20 minutes, do not go knocking on her door. Do not demand an apology. Do not send a passive-aggressive text. Let biochemistry do its cleaning job. You touch nothing. Rule number 3, the cold autopsy. It's the next morning. Or that evening over a pizza. Your teen's logical brain has finally rebooted. This is the moment. Don't say, "Why did you do that?" Say, "What was going on in your head yesterday?" Things got pretty intense yesterday with the plate situation. What was going on for you?
I had a bad day at school. When you knocked, it was just too much.
Okay, thank you for telling me. Don't say I told you so. This is a connection, not a victory. And there, miraculously, you might get a real answer. Being a parent means lending your own logical brain until their update is complete. They don't scream at you out of malice, but out of temporary neurological incompetence. So tonight, when the door slams, smile to yourself and leave the room with dignity. Scheduled delivery, 2033. You've got this. See you next week on Beerly Parenting.